Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
It's a Monday episode, which means it's a Joe episode.
Hey-o.
But we couldn't do Family Feud on Thursday. So now it's a Family Feud episode with Joe.
Full family
which
episode.
Means we have to include Joe in the Family Feud, which means I'm giving up my spot. I'm giving up my seat. Joe, you're tagged in. You are participating in Family Feud today with Dallas Braden. How do you feel about that?
I gotta put it all on the line, man. I've been practicing, and I thank you for stepping out, man. People are gonna be fucking pissed.
Yeah, I for one was extremely excited about this decision. I was pumped up about this decision. I felt like this could really set us off on a different trajectory as far as a podcast is concerned when it comes to battling through this Family Feud episode.
Joe's got that dog in him.
I feel like this was a good move.
Yeah, Joe's got that dog.
Well, didn't Dallas say we're gonna lose now because I was on the team?
He said that off the air. I'm glad you brought that up. What? What I had to say about that was, sounds like all that stuff that Bob Jarren was saying about Dallas is kind of true. He just shits on his own teammates and doesn't believe in them, and he thinks that he can carry the team by himself, and everyone else drags him down, and it's not his fault.
Well, there's no validity to any of that. None. I mean, I've battled
in regards to like Bob Jarren saying that, or that you believe those things.
Bob Jarren would never say that about me. We know that.
We have it in print.
We know that. I would really like to see the print. I'd really call into question the publisher.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it the same person who printed the Revere All-Star game write-up? The no-hitter write-up? Same media company?
No, this was the Stockton Times.
Oh, Stockton Times, huh?
Yeah.
Is that
very credible? Very credible news source.
Is that the sister print of the Stockton Record?
Yeah, there were only 11 grammatical and spelling errors in the article, which is, I believe, a record at the time. It was a record at the time for 2008.
Dude, I got to tell you, I had a fucking great moment. Well, two quick funny stories. One, you know how we start the podcast with baseball is dead, rest in peace. I had a father-son combo come up to me as I was signing autographs, and the dad stuck out what he wanted me to sign, and he said, "Baseball is dead." And then his son handed me the ball and stuck it out and was like, "Rest in peace." and there were other fans behind him, and they all started like going nuts. It was seriously one of the coolest like interactions that I've had in a while, because they obviously had like planned it, choreographed it. So that was cool. And then at lunch, and it all happened like within 15 minutes. I was like, oh wow, this is fucking. I sat down, and who came walking through the door? Bob Nightingale. And I don't know why this happened. And I had to laugh at it, because I saw Bob Nightingale in the lunchroom, and I did what young Dallas used to do, and I still kind of do this sometimes out of habit, but when I see a cop, if I'm out in the world and I see a cop, I check my pockets, and I'm like, I don't know why, it's just a habit. I've always done that. And I saw Bob Nightingale, and I checked my pockets, but I was like looking for my phone, because I was like, well, he's got to, if I'm seeing him, he's going to tweet some shit right now, right? Like something's about, he's going to tell me something is not right and something is right. So it was just a weird, fuck, there he is. This is crazy. People are listening to the podcast, Nightingale in person, something's going down.
Did you talk to him?
No, because I was walking in. He was walking out.
He's very friendly.
Oh, he's great. He's a great guy. Yeah. Very personable.
Yeah. We were roommates. Where was that? Seattle? Yeah, last year's All-Star game. Our hotel rooms shared a wall. So I was just wall to wall with Bob Nightingale.
Old Bobby.
Basically brothers. Yeah.
Love that. You and Bob Nightingale getting conjoining rooms on the road. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a brotherhood, brother.
Yeah, it is.
Before we begin, I know we have some exciting stories that we want to discuss, and we've got the Family Feud at the back end. We have an announcement to make. An announcement that we were intending on making on Thursday, but we had to hold off. Dallas, you look confused, as you always do. This is the Home Run Derby seeding announcement that Steve tried to ruin on Section 10 last night. That fucking dope. But
have some couth, Steve. Jesus.
Yeah. Jake shut it the fuck down.
Hey, baby Jake.
Also, happy birthday, Jake, today. Happy birthday, Jake.
Let's go.
Yeah, we would. I would play the happy birthday song, but we can't play music anymore.
Happy birthday, Jake. Look what I did for you. Fireworks for you, bud. All
Hell
for
yeah.
you. All
Appreciate it,
for you.
All
Shoot him
for
again,
you.
boys. Shoot him again.
I don't. How do you do it?
You only get one.
Yeah.
You only get one? That's bullshit. I thought I had unlimited.
No,
Yeah,
there
unlimited
it
for
is.
Jake. Let's go.
All right. I have not seen the results. Steve only spoiled one matchup for me. I don't know the rest of the card.
Well, hold on. How did the seating? Was this
It was
voted
voted
on?
upon.
Was
Yes.
this okay? Gotcha.
It was fan votes, which, like, I mean, it could go either way. People could actually take it seriously, or they could just try and come up with the most wonky matchups. Jake, before you tell us, like, what are we walking into here? Was it like pretty true or no?
Yeah. Is there some wonk?
I think it's pretty predictable. I feel like it's fair first round matchups. We'll break it down once we talk about it.
Okay. All right. So do you have the results in front of you?
I do.
Okay. Proceed, birthday boy.
All right, so I'll just go matchup by matchup. So the first matchup, the 1 seed, Dallas Braden, will be facing off against the 8 seed, Tyler Milliken.
Oh, fuck. Tyler.
Oh,
Tyler, you know what, Tyler?
guy.
I'll hit with this.
Oh,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus. Handing the kid a ticket to the fucking dance, huh?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Tyler.
Had to see that
Jeez,
coming, though,
hardly,
right?
hardly knew you, bud.
What happened to Bullet? He died.
Yeah, he's going to die in that first round. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
tough.
God. That is tasty. That is
Yeah.
thank you, Discord.
Hey. But imagine if he didn't
Oh.
lose.
Mm.
Oh, God.
He's been
Imagine,
practicing. He's been practicing shirtless on the beach, he said.
imagine if Dallas like tweaks that shoulder or something
Hey.
just a little in that first swing, and like
Jay.
Milliken
That
starts
can
hitting
happen.
these. Yeah.
Dude, I took a fucking dry hack yesterday at the
Hey,
field.
look, he's laying the
And-
foundation, folks.
Wow.
Milliken,
And things
Sprinkle a
were
little
not
Milliken money.
great. Yeah,
I'm
was,
insulted that I'm not first. I mean, I definitely am a better wiffle ball player than Dallas. Dallas is a better baseball/softball player, not a better wiffle ball player. That's just
you
you're just not. You're
you
not.
need to quit
That's okay.
drinking before you do these podcasts in the morning. It's
No,
a
it's fine.
terrible look.
No, I love getting slept on. I absolutely love it. So, what's the next matchup,
You're
Jake?
power bottom. I know.
Our
Ooh.
next first round matchup is the number 2 seed, Jared Carabas, versus the number 7 seed, Steve Peralt.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
Oh.
fucking bloodbath. I'm literally gonna fucking take his blood and wipe it across my chest.
the fans,
in
the
first round.
fans gave themselves what they wanted on that one. I think.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah,
Boom sauce.
that is gonna be a
Oh,
bloodbath
Oh.
in that first round.
fucking
I mean,
nasty.
I think like I might
Tell-
even throw like a stipulation on it that like if I don't double him up, then it doesn't count and he wins.
Oh, that's bold. You heard it here. That's
Yeah.
bold of you, Jared. So if you
Like,
don't, if you don't hit,
if he hits 10, I have to hit 20 to beat him.
are you willing to stamp that right here, right now?
I
I
think
mean,
we got to. Think
you
you
gotta
got
I
be
gotta
about
see
that
the
one.
field. I
What
gotta
do you mean
see the field.
You got to be about that. Like you see your competitor. That's all I need to know. See
How
your
about
competitor.
how about I gotta beat him by 10?
Okay, just not double the number. Just beat him by
Yeah.
10. So
Yeah,
so
I
if
gotta
he
beat
hits,
him by 10.
Okay, if he hits 8, you got to hit 18.
That's unofficial, folks.
That's unofficial for now, but that's
gonna
where I'm
need
at.
to get some back end stampage. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, people are going to be able to
that's right.
get in on the action on the app too.
I would say probably just ignore it and pretend. Yeah. Put that idea in the trash.
Are we allowed to bet on the app?
Like
what do you mean?
Literally,
Can we bet on Home Run Derby?
Are we allowed to? I don't know. Probably not. I feel like that must be illegal.
If you're participating in it, you can't bet on it.
I think that's a no. Yeah.
But technically, they wouldn't. Are they gonna block my phone?
Hold on, how does that work? Floyd Mayweather been betting on himself for how long?
Joe's already talking about throwing the derby to make it like 60
Well,
bucks.
I just want to make sure that other people
betting
aren't
on
doing
himself, Dallas.
Floyd.
Yeah, betting on himself, not against.
Well,
I guess I don't know
who amongst us would be betting against themselves outside of Joey.
Joe.
Clearly,
well, that's
who I'm
one
really
of the 4
excited to have as
matchups,
my
dude.
new Family Feud partner. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's already.
Joe's
He's
already got
throwing
backroom
shit.
deals going with Discord here about how this is going to go. Fucking snake! I see you coming. I
don't
see
even
you
have to
coming.
bet. I could sell my picks on Discord. It's a good point.
So it's Jarren and Steve.
All right, put it this way.
Tyler and Steve are going to be hanging out in the jacuzzi during the rest of this fucking home run derby.
I'm gonna put the Stevie P guarantee on it. I will beat Steve by at least 10 home runs.
Jeez
at least 10.
Okay, well if you don't, what happens? You can't just throw that out there and then
If
it
I
not happen and then
don't-
you'd be like, oh, I didn't.
If I don't beat him by at least 10 home runs, I'll obviously still beat him. I'll give him $1,000 of my prize money when I win.
That seems like a workable round that could work.
Yeah, I feel like a small medallion-sized tattoo of
What is up with people wanting to tattoo my body of her bets?
a pair of because it's
I've already done I'm out of
finality of it.
space.
the finality.
I guess I could just keep using my leg. Like my right leg is the tattoo bet spot on my body.
No, you got to dedicate the right leg to the children's artwork.
The what?
Children's artwork. So like my right leg is dedicated already to shit that my kids draw. So you draw something.
Well, I already
have
like a bet tattoo on my right leg. I lost
Perfect.
a bet to Kyle Freeland.
Exactly. So you throw this one right next to it. And you're like, yeah, see, this is when I lost to Kyle Freeland.
Tattoo.
This is when I didn't hit 10 more homers than Stevie P guarantee. That went wrong. So I got his custom shoe logo tattooed on my ass.
No, I'm not doing any ass tattoos.
Yeah.
I'll figure something out. But I mean, I don't even really have to. Like I will probably beat him by at least 27 home runs.
That's strong. So I feel like I'm starting to get a sense of what the rest of this field's going to shape up and look like here.
Yeah, so the next matchup is the number 3 seed Connor Jeffers versus myself, the number 6 seed Jake Yazzie.
Oh,
Wow.
oh,
That means we've got inner podcast showdown here, doesn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
that is the first interpod.
Me
Matchup.
against, well, if Joey wants to throw it, then, I think that's a pretty noble move on his part. Now I've reconsidered my stance.
So I mean, like we are guaranteed to get someone from Baseball is Dead in the second round here.
Yeah, I think that's no accident by the voters. They want that brand in the next round.
Wow,
That's
so
huge. Jake, how do
Jay
you feel
versus
about
Joe?
How do you feel about the Connor matchup?
I mean, I'm going to fight for sure. Like I'm going to show up, but I mean, he does play college baseball, so I think that hurts my chances a little bit, but it's also wiffle ball, so I might be able to figure something out.
I got faith in you, Jake.
Yeah, and I like your attitude, Jake. That's what matters. I'm going to say Connor, at times, maybe a little sure of his abilities, and I can appreciate that because you got to be cocky to an extent, right? And some would say borderline confident, cocky. Pick one. It just doesn't matter to me. You got to have a game plan, and it feels like his game plan at times is clouded by a lot of self-promotion at times, internal self-promotion, because he walks around like a proud little peacock, and I appreciate that about him. But Jake, I think he's sleeping on the man right now.
I'll say this too. I've heard more from Connor since he was announced as a Derby participant than I did in all the time leading up to that. I think Dallas is spot on.
No, and Jay, I'll tell you this about Connor. Great guy.
Tremendous
the minute that
guy.
free baseball tickets became available to him, and he became an even better guy. an even better guy, right? And then once he got those free baseball tickets and came down and got to the bar and got his beers paid for, probably the best guy I had. He went from a good guy to a great guy to the fucking best dude
That's how it works.
I had hung out with.
Beers are paid for it, yeah.
Probably in a hot minute. And you could just tell there was this quiet confidence about him. He was ready to get it out. And finally, after all the beers that I had paid for that he really enjoyed, he shared with me that he was extremely confident in where he was going to land at the end of this home run derby. And I found that to be a little telling about Connor.
I think it's good that you paid for the college kids' beers.
Yeah.
That's the right thing to do, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I only made him buy me one.
I told this story last night on Section 10, but I feel like Dallas needs to hear it as well. As part of my training yesterday, it was like 85 and humid yesterday. It's just fucking disgusting.
Training for what?
For Texas. Just adapting to the climate.
What?
I went for a walk yesterday. I didn't even go out there and take swings. I just went for a fucking walk.
Time out. You don't get to use the word training.
No, that's training.
That you went for a fucking walk
training.
outside to prepare.
No, that's training. That's training. It's called climate adaptation. You wouldn't know anything about it. It's kind of like when like the Patriots had like a big game against the Broncos. Like they would get there early to adjust to the sea level, the thin air. It's like that's what I'm doing. I'm
Jimmy Johnson
adapting.
Jimmy Johnson used to flood the Dallas Cowboys practice field when they were playing in inclement weather in November, and December, and January.
Yeah, I mean all the greats do it. So I was doing it yesterday, and listen, it's fucking hot out there. Like I'm not gonna sit here and make excuses about how hot Texas is. We're all participating under the same weather. But man, is it going to be difficult to, it's just going to come down to endurance, and I don't have it. I'm a short burst guy, but that I'll tell you right now, that first round is going to be fucking epic.
Can't wait for the ferocity of those pumps. You're not going to get a lot of them, but let me tell you, the pumps. No.
The first round is going to be a bloodbath, like I said. But if there's a way that we could come back later for the second round, or if we could do it later that night or the next day.
Well, can we finish the bracket out, because I've got some questions.
We did finish it out.
I was never mentioned.
Yeah, it's Jay and Joey in the last matchup. Jay's the 4, Joey's the 5.
Ooh.
Okay, so with that being said, do we have? Well, we're not just.
I should be 4. What the fuck?
Yeah, there we go. Are we okay with the seedings? I mean, it's 4 or 5. It could go either way. But is there a little, like Joe? Is there a sense of pride here that it's 4 and not 5? Jay, do you feel slighted that it's 5 and not 4? Like, are we okay with that?
Jay's 4.
Jay's 4.
Okay. So Joey, do you feel slighted? I didn't know that it was.
I mean, I fucking played softball last night. 3 weeks in a row I played softball.
How'd you do?
It's quite a Ripken-esque streak you got going there.
I played 3 weeks in a row, dude, and we're talking double headers. One of them was a fucking quadruple header.
Wow.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 games in 3 weeks, man.
So that means you played in at least the semifinal game there.
No, we won the league, man. We're undefeated. We didn't. We were 11-1. No big deal.
11-1.
Wow.
But yeah.
But
seeding doesn't matter. I just want to have fun.
That's a good point.
And I'm bringing my own bat too.
Are we going to be able to like bet on like every round? Like, can we put money on like individual round winners? Or are we only picking the winner of the entire tournament?
We can bet whatever we would like during during the event, I believe. Right? I mean, you're talking about other you're talking about other folks or us as participants?
Participants. Like I want to.
Yeah, we're gonna have some side action. Yeah, like this is what needs to happen. First of all, we're gonna have a bounty. I want to apply
bounty.
Yeah, a $25 bounty So like,
have
if
you
I
learned nothing from the Saints?
No, I'm saying when I take out Tyler, I get $25 for taking out Tyler. The next guy I take out, I get $25 for taking that person out too. Like you get money.
Want a prize
Each round you win.
I like that. And then wait, so different bounty. So Dallas #1 seed, he's the highest bounty. $3K if you beat Dallas. Jared second seed. $2K if you beat Jared. Jay Hayes 4th seed, probably like $6K if you beat Jay Hay.
Wait, so I'm trying to map it out. When I maul Steve, who would I get next? The winner of who?
You would get the winner of Jake and Connor.
Ah, fuck.
And Dallas gets the winner.
All right. Honestly, I think I would rather get Connor in the second round than in the finals because he's got the stamina. So whatever stamina I have left, I should want him in the second round.
You should want Connor.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
should want him in the second round strategically.
Yeah, I mean, if you believe that Connor is your biggest threat outside of Dallas, then yeah, I guess
Dallas is not a threat.
Hmm.
Dallas is not a threat.
I mean, if I can get through Joey, I feel pretty good about handling Dallas. But
If I can get past Connor in the second round, it's fucking over.
yeah, if Dallas can get through Tyler, I mean, let's just not lock that one in yet.
Yeah.
I've seen crazier things.
I love this. I love watching the effort to make it make sense. That's my.
What do you mean?
That's the funnest part.
Well, I mean, I got to pick the field dimensions. It's 450 to right. So.
Oh, you didn't know that I played wiffle ball left-handed or right-handed?
No, you don't. No, you don't. So, yeah, it's 70 feet to left, 450 to right. So we'll see.
Let it travel.
Just get a little lift under that ball and it's gone.
Let it travel. So do we have a rule protocol here that we are going with? Because we have seen the new home run derby format for Major League Baseball.
Yeah. See, I think it'll be more interesting with the outs, the old school like out system than the 3 minutes nonstop, because 3 minutes nonstop, like we're all going to get gassed out in 105.
Well, this is the thing. The new caveat is there's only X amount of pitches allowed in the new home run derby format in Major League Baseball. 40.
Oh, since when?
Since now, my friend.
This is the first year?
Yes, first year.
Oh,
When that was last night.
Just a bit of a different look.
Huh.
So that's that's something that
40 swings or 40 pitches?
40 pitches.
So that's on like that's like a big responsibility for the pitcher.
Yes, it's a very, very different format in terms of, like you're saying, where the responsibility comes from or who the responsibility is on. And so yeah, that changes things.
So it is
ahead,
the
Jay.
time limit or the pitch count. It's whichever one comes first. So
yes,
it's 3 minutes or 40 pitches.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to see, like, how fast does one need to throw in a home run derby in the real derby, not necessarily ours, to be able to like run out of pitches during a 3 minute period? Like, I wonder how impactful it's going to be on the tempo, if that makes sense, right? Like, how does the guy have to slow down? Are we seeing a slower derby with more setup between each swing? Or is it going to be basically what we saw before? We're just putting numbers to these things now.
I think what we're going to see is, I think we're going to see guys, and look, this happens, and we know this happens, guys who are participating, a guy like Gunnar Henderson, who on Sunday Night Baseball last night, while being mic'd up, announced that he would participate in the home run derby.
Guys jumping ahead, Jake. What are we going to do?
What are you talking about?
Maybe his second suspension ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Dallas got suspended last week. He didn't even know that it happened. But yeah, he caught a suspension last week. You're jumping ahead. I'm just saying that's a topic that's on.
It's pertinent to the conversation.
Yeah, well, you're jumping ahead.
It's pertinent to the conversation.
No, go ahead. I mean, I might as well. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning to put together this rundown, but I guess I'll just shove it up my ass if we're just going to jump ahead. Yep.
You don't wake up at 4:30.
No, you go. No, you go.
If you woke up at 4:30 in the morning, I would have significantly more respect for that.
Go ahead. No, it's your
so
turn.
with Gunnar Henderson announcing that he's going to hit in the home run derby, he
Yeah.
will be practicing to an extent this very thing. What do we do? Do we try to ease into it early, or is it like rapid fire to see where we're at the end of like 2 minutes, and we see how many pitches we have left, and now we can kind of feel it out? Like, what do we do? Do I want to take like my first 10 swings, nice and easy, cool, calm, collected, see what the number looks like, see what I feel like energy-wise, and then go? So you're going to have a couple different runs at this to see how you want to do it. Are we just going to try to hit as many homers as possible and then look up and go, oh, hey, shit, dude, you got a minute and a half left, but you only got 10 balls left. So let's
figure it out.
That's what they're going to be doing.
Jay, hey, what do you think our home run derby format should be? There's like 3 legit athletes in the tournament, and then the rest are just guys that are going to gas out. What do you think? I'm counting Joe as one of the 3, by the way. It's Dallas, Connor, and Joe. The rest of us are just going to gas out the heat, for sure.
So not to go all math on you guys to answer the question, but the new rules are 40 pitches in 3 minutes for the first and semifinals round. Okay. So first round and semifinals. So that's 3 minutes is, as we all know, 180 seconds, right? So that's one swing every, what? 4.5, 5 seconds.
4.64736 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think many of us are going to be averaging a swing pace faster than over the course of a round, much faster than one swing every 4.5 to 5 seconds for that cap to matter even the slightest. Like I think who's ever pitching could pitch as fast as the batter is ready to receive them, and we're not going to get. I don't think anybody participating is going to get 40 swings in a 3-minute round. And for the finals, it's 2 minutes and 27 pitches. I guess that's a little bit slower. No, it's basically the same pace. So I think we could probably stick with what we were going to do because it requires less maintenance from somebody managing the number count perspective.
Well, it'd be really easy because we could just take out 40 wiffle balls. Here you go. So throw the ball.
That's a great answer.
You're done.
Actually,
or we have 3 minutes,
or we have whatever's left. Yeah, that's a good answer. Nobody would have to track the pitches.
Where they throw
balls. No, we're not tracking anything. Here's 40 of them.
Yeah. Who's throwing the pitches first of all?
I will separately bet, by the way, that nobody finishes their 40 pitches in those 2 rounds. If anybody wants that action on the side. So Dallas, if you're thirsty for something, go ahead and hit me up on that. If you want to tire yourself out in the first round
very quickly.
I just Googled what's the best PED for endurance.
Wow.
I
mean,
mean,
we're start looking at via VO2 max.
If somebody comes in prepared cardiovascularly, that's a word, to be able to get 40 swings off or 40 pitches off in a round or 27 off in a finals round, that is a built-in advantage. That's going to be a meaningful competitive advantage over some other people that are participating. I would not be surprised if there are people who get 25. Did you point at me?
Nope.
Oh, the 25 swings in a 3-minute round, I think is going to gas some folks participating. Maybe myself.
Not in the first round. I'm going to put on a show.
Maybe myself.
It's going to be 100 degrees, 105, whatever it is. Yeah. This is going to be fun.
I found a product called
Jay, hey, you're the
endurance.
guy who needs the relay leg on the way down to the fucking front door.
I don't have to worry about endurance, brother. I'm going to go fucking balls to the wall in this first round because there basically is no second round for me, presumably. Unless Tyler upsets you, then maybe I'll rethink my strategy.
Jared's already got fertility pills on the way to his house right now.
Jared's going to have me defending him on the podcast after the All-Star break when he tests positive.
Jared's going to be
some Jared's going to be
wearing a fucking training bra at the fucking
are your nipples puffy right now? Just like slugging homers with the puffiest nipples you've ever seen.
Jared just raging at the pitcher. I'm on the rag. Leave me alone. Hold on. What?
My entire back just covered in acne. I'm just crushing wiffle balls.
Anything to win.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
just
don't care,
fucking
dude.
popping zits in between. Come on, fuck it.
Throw the fucking ball.
Yeah, this one right here. Oh. Oh. Oh.
This right here.
I saw the clip of Big Mac setting the home run record the other day. I think it was the anniversary of it, like late last week or something like that.
When he missed first.
Yeah. And I saw that clip. That guy was shaped like a pyramid scheme.
Oh my God. When he puts his
It looks
when he
so
puts his arm,
it looks so silly now.
when he put his arms out, Jay. Oh.
I've never seen a dude shaped like a pyramid, like an inverted pyramid like that. It was crazy.
Yeah, he is big. He looked like a comic book character when he's hitting
Tight
70.
little waist.
And fun fact, he used the same cup he had in high school.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be
Everything
on the
got
black
bigger
market. Except what?
his balls, man. Because steroids drink your balls.
That is actually true. Yeah.
But that was the thing. It was like he was
I'm
like
not
a little
endorsing that
superstitious thing he would do. Wore the same cup since high school. It's like, yeah, I did steroids, made his balls smaller, so that's why it worked. That's like the funny little lore behind the scenes of Mark McGwire, man. Respect to
Little lord.
Big Mac.
You know Big Mac, right, Dallas? Can you
Yes.
give me his
I'm
number?
friends with Mac.
Can you give me his number, dude?
No, I'm not giving you his number.
Why?
Because listen to the kind of shit flying around here. No, I'm not giving anybody his number.
Yeah, actually, I want to talk to him too.
Yeah. Imagine Joe just showing up like fucking 260. We're just like, what the fuck? Like, it's the middle of July and he's wearing hoodies on the podcast to hide his physique.
This fucking pump cover.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know I'm actually a member of Gold's Gym and 24 Hour Fitness. 2 memberships.
Wow. I did know that.
I know Jared know, but most people don't know.
Yeah, most people didn't know that.
I had no idea. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's why I included him in the athletes. There's 3 athletes in the tournament. Joe's one of them.
Wait, 3 athletes in what tournament?
The home
The
run
Derby?
Yeah.
Who are the 3?
Dallas, Connor, and Joe.
Oh. Because he plays softball.
Yes.
Mhm.
But he played 12 games in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just I thought you were including yourself, and then I was like,
No.
well, what about Connor? And then it's like, yeah.
No. I would never refer to myself as an athlete. I play one on TV sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't. I look the part from the waist up, but I don't pretend to be an athlete.
Where would you finish in a foot race amongst this field, Jared?
Oh my God. I can't run, dude.
I know. That's why I asked.
A short distance foot race would be just about the fucking funniest thing with this group of people.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Jay, a 50-yard sprint.
Any
would be-
distance would be so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't run. I don't run. I haven't ran sprints probably since high school.
You know what it would look like if somebody took a sideways photo? It would be like the evolution of man photo or diagram, right?
Oh shit. I need that so bad. I need a wide shot. Just give us the first 3 seconds of the race from the starting line. Just that's all I want. There's gonna be 2 people standing there at the line going like this.
Yeah, I've got no speed. None.
That's what you know what we need to do? Can the Discord come up with fucking with the show ratings or like Madden ratings for each player? Power, contact, speed.
I got great contact. They said that on LB Network. They were like, this dude's got great bat to ball skill, great eye, hand-eye coordination off the charts. So I would probably be like 90
I'd love to hear that scouting report.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna try and do head-to-head, like tail of the tape graphics.
Yes.
For the matchup. So that sort of stuff is like right on the money.
Yeah. I think we should also have some sort of like flag markers to mark the longest home run.
Yeah, that should be a thing.
Yeah.
Longest pump.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there will be people shagging. So presumably all we need to do to accomplish that is just buy a flag.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
little,
to be able to plant. Yeah.
little yard.
If I have a
markers.
good enough pitcher, then there's a chance that I hit a home run on every pitch.
That's easy.
So it's a matter of how much time we got. So we'll see. But you're going to want to download the Underdog Fantasy app. I'm telling you that right now. We're going to be streaming it. People are asking where. I believe it's going to be our YouTube channel. It's going to be on Twitter and the Underdog Fantasy app. Nothing is confirmed, but that's kind of the scuttlebutt as of right now. The MLB season is in full swing, and Underdog Fantasy wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. Make entries of all baseball, or you can mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. What was the official update, Jake? There's going to be, 6 cameras?
Yeah, I believe there'll be 6.
This is a whole fucking production. This is not like some rinky-dink thing that's going on. We have 6
cameras. That's as
6
many
cameras. Dallas and I will be mic'd up the entire time. There's going to be no like broadcast. It's basically you're going to be hearing me and Dallas the entire time, and then we can like run up and like talk to people as it's going. Are we allowed to talk about Joe West anymore or no?
Yeah, he's officially in.
Okay, all right. So Joe West is officially in as the umpire for the home run derby. He's going to be mic'd up the entire time too. So this is going to be one of the coolest, I think, content projects I think I've ever been a part of in my career.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. This is going to be fun.
Also, by the way, I talked to Hample. He's a maybe, but good chance he shows up.
Oh,
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's just going to be a game time decision, but yeah. Probably.
Did you for real talk to him?
Yeah.
All right. If you do that, I'm wearing a Cedric Mullins t-shirt.
Oh, and if you do that, I got a little treat.
I'm going to have some other stuff up my sleeve. If
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. Dallas joked about it. I actually might be flying in a personal pitcher for this.
Well, I'm going to stay true to. I'm a common man type of guy. I'm going to use whoever is provided to us by the courts.
The courts.
I might pull somebody out of the stands.
Wow.
That
I
person
basically
might.
pulling someone out of the stands.
I got to say to Jared's point, about it being one of the coolest content things he's been a part of. I mean, that's obviously true of me too, but like every idea that was pitched that like made it cooler was met with, yeah, let's try that. Like, should we have Joe West umpire it? Yeah. Well, why don't we just ask? So cool.
Love it.
That worked.
Yeah.
Love it. No, this is, I mean, it's hard not to, for me, it's hard not to look at what we were able to do, what we were able to put together. I mean, think about this. We played baseball on the Field of Dreams baseball field. Like on that field. Not on the field that they built for the game, for the Field of Dreams game. No, not on that field. We played baseball on the field that Shoeless Joe Jackson played baseball on, right? In the movie. Like, so that was very cool. This has the makings of so many more people supporting and into and behind what we're doing. That makes this, for me, a true passion project.
Very excited for it. Very excited for it. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's Jared to get up to $250 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That is Underdog Fantasy, promo code Jared. Okay. The Baltimore Orioles. I don't know why this says May. It was June. The Baltimore Orioles hit 60 home runs in the month of June. That is the third time in, I don't know, what, can you maybe explain this to me, Jay? Hey, why when people like list statistics, does it say like for the first time in American League / National League history. Why wouldn't they just say in baseball history? What's the like? What are we missing here?
Oh, brother. Yeah, that's that's the Negro Leagues integration.
Oh,
Yeah. So I don't want to call it a workaround necessarily because in the nugs that I have one stat where I use ALNL later, but like, yeah, that's why most search engines and like that's what when they said it's going to be part of the MLB record books. This is one of the things that they're talking about. They're not just talking about Josh Gibson being at the top. They're talking about when you search for things and when you talk about things, those teams and those streaks and stuff matter.
Got it. All right. So the Baltimore Orioles became the third team to hit 60 home runs in a single month in ALNL history. The next closest team in the month of June was the San Diego Padres. They hit 42, so not even close. And they basically doubled the league average. The league average for home runs in the month of June was 30.6. So it is only right that Gunnar Henderson, who was kind of at the forefront of this home run barrage in the month of June, joins the home run derby. I mean, we can go a bunch of different angles here. The Orioles have overtaken first place in the American League East. And so it's the 60 home runs, it's first place, and it's Gunnar Henderson joining the derby. So how about it?
Well, one, let's start with what I was talking about early, the announcement of we okay with that? We like that? Cool. Because I think you're factoring in what we've seen transpire here as of late with players being mic'd up and what that's looked like, right? We had the Kike error. We had the Jeremy Pena blunder. And then you have this where Gunnar Henderson's announcing that he will be participating in the home run derby. Do we like how that was done? Are we okay with how that was done? Is that like, kind of tired or what? For one, I think I appreciated that. It's not like you need this big pomp and circumstance reveal. I know that that's great for television and I know that's great for ratings and blah, blah, blah. You need that to get it going. But I think like the mic'd up stuff, that's the kind of stuff that you would like to be able to pull off with that in place. And so I think that was cool. That was, well done, if you will. The timing of that.
Joseph, what do you got on them?
No one has any thoughts on the fucking mic'd up shit? First of all, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I never really get to watch Sunday Night Baseball. So I don't really have a great perspective on the broadcast because softball Sundays, guys, come on. So I don't think I've watched one full broadcast of Sunday Night Baseball this year. Mic'd up, it's been touch and go for me, man. I've been critical of mic'd up. It doesn't do that much for me to interview a live player 99% of the time. I only like it when they fuck up, usually. Or maybe Joey Votto was pretty good. Most of the time it's kind of like not my favorite, but I mean, I'm a little indifferent because I'm not that critical of it either. Like usually when it happens in a game, I'm like, this is fine. Like this is it's a little more. It adds a little fun. But Gunnar Henderson announcing his home run derby candidacy, that's cool, but it doesn't pop off the page for me per se.
No, yeah, it was just a cool announcement.
But what should it? Really should it anyway? Not even.
No,
To me, they've tried lots of different ways of doing home run derby announcements. And I think whether it worked, whether it didn't, debatable. I think it was more than worth trying this way. I think there was probably an attempt at like, let's create a viral moment and like have social media engineer the announcement for us as much as, like the actual saying of it on Sunday Night Baseball. I don't know whether that worked or not. But I think the main takeaway for me is a positive one, which is that Major League Baseball in conjunction with ESPN, whatever, Gunnar Henderson is participating in the home run derby, and Gunnar Henderson is one of the young superstars in the game, having an absolutely tremendous season for one of the most up and coming and already excellent franchises in the game. So like that to me, I want to see Gunnar Henderson in the home run derby. I think it's great to have young stars have that platform. And that the first guy to announce is a guy I would consider a linchpin of the event. Not but one of. I think that's big. And I like the derby. I respect Joe's opinion, but I personally really enjoy it.
I don't want to sound negative because I don't mean like there's no way this was bad. No one was like, oh, fuck,
No,
dude, ruined it.
Yeah.
But what I like about the interviews on the field, the thing I really like about them, it does leave opportunity for something crazy to happen. And I feel like we hasn't gotten anything that crazy other than Ramon Laureano getting interviewed in the playoffs. That was the craziest thing that happened. And that was honestly terrible. They should never do that. Interview a player in the playoffs. And that's the one thing I've always kind of not liked about it. It makes it just kind of makes the game feel a little less important when you're interviewing a player who's actually in the middle of playing in the game. It kind of makes the game seem like a sideshow in a little bit of a way.
Because what you're ultimately after, I think, in that moment is the back and forth that we got from John Smoltz to Alek Manoah. You would love somehow, some way to have that sort of interaction, like between the pitcher and hitter or at the same time, right? Because you imagine hearing Alek Manoah going through all of that with John Smoltz and then being able to tap into the hitter he was facing and listen to what the hitter was thinking about that decision-making process simultaneously, right? You're hearing Smoltz ask for the slider, but then you're also hearing the hitter tell you that I think he's throwing slider here. So I'm going to be looking soft, down and in. And that's what we're after. That's what we're not able to capture. And I think that's what would make this something a little more than what it is, because it's very one-sided and you're getting the conversation from an analyst to the player who's timing it in between pitches so he can come up with an answer. And, it's just at face value, I think you want more. You'll take what you can get, but there's a cap on, I think, the entertainment value of it.
Yeah, I much rather I like it a lot more if you mic'd up a few players and then had them play the game, and then after the game released like some interesting moments of them communicating, blah 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 blah, something cool happened, something funny happened.
Like when Freddie Freeman is facing fucking Anthony Rizzo, right? So Frederick, when he's chasing him down, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that. That's that right there. That's what you're looking for. That is what you want. Like Rizzo just saying Frederick. Like, you remember that.
That's a moment. Yeah.
That's a moment. Absolutely. That's what you want.
Here's the problem, though. Unless Joey's saying that they need to be mic'd up and broadcast live as the game is going on, which I think players would be exceptionally skeptical of doing.
Yes.
What he is talking about, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joey, is having it collected and then a best of put out ever, an edit. The problem with that is that once that happens, once the game is over and that file exists, there's an enormous amount of bureaucratic tape that then gets involved with what is able to be released. Yes. And so the final product is often less interesting than you would hope for.
Yes. That's why that's like, we talked about this before, but the probably best mic'd up moment ever. Your ass is in our ass is in the jackpot. Like,
but that wasn't even supposed to get out.
That's what I'm saying. They had to leak that. Someone, probably Jay, got in there and sent it out for the masses. A Robin Hood type figure to really help the game out against MLB's wishes. Maybe a Snowden type guy in MLB releasing some footage we weren't supposed to see.
Free Snowden.
Helps the game out.
I mean, Jay, you were on the inside for a couple of years. Do you know? I mean, obviously, you don't name the person, but like, do you know who leaked that or have an idea?
I promise I have no idea.
How does something like that get
Come
leaked?
on, they're not coming after you now. It's the statute of limitations is passed. Let's go.
I truly don't know, didn't know at the time. Yeah, I mean, that could, I guess, happen in a lot of different ways. And I would.
It's got a Dr. Claw feel to it, Jared.
Yeah.
Well, no. And it's also like, I mean, MLB Network
if it quacks
at
like
the
a
time
duck,
cut all the highlights. So I'm not casting any blame elsewhere.
So
but that's an entirely separate building and separate group of people from where I worked individually. So that I have no idea is not.
Was it Bryn?
Who are those people? You want to name those people?
No, I hope it wasn't Bryn. I haven't talked to Bryn in a long time. I can't vouch for her whereabouts, but I would hope not.
Could be Blattman. We had a lot of people that have crossed over into our universe from being behind the scenes people at MLB Network. But it could be anybody. Just like this could be anybody, Jay Hay. I am a 13-time All-Star.
Ryan Sandberg.
I only have one Gold Glove award.
Roberto Alomar.
I won the batting title and the Silver Slugger 3 times each, but never led the league in home runs.
Wade Boggs.
I won an MVP by leading the league in batting, on base, and slugging.
Ted Williams.
I amassed 3,154 hits in my career.
George Brett.
George fucking Brett.
I was sinking, man. Those were difficult. I got to be honest, or I'm dumb.
I made it a little bit more difficult for you. Last 2 hints were I won a World Series in the 80s and was ALCS MVP. And I was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1999 with 98.2% of the vote.
Okay. So you gave me a few lifeboats there at the end.
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm glad I got it. Not as quickly as I would have hoped, but it's important that I got it. I like that one. I enjoy that one more, having now experienced it than the year, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
That was
Plenty
fun.
of players to choose from.
All right.
Good job.
George Brett. What a player.
George Brett. You know who else is a great player? Paul Skenes. Who
bucket of filth.
This was Opta Stats on Twitter. Paul Skenes becomes the first pitcher in history to allow a leadoff home run in back-to-back starts while pitching a shutout the rest of the way.
It's everything you want it to be. We talked about this last time out. It's everything you want it to be. We will, I think, go back and always look at the Steven Strasburg start, and frankly, I think understandably so, as, you know, one of the last times that we had a guy take the mound and live up to what we had expected or what we were told we were getting, and you got it. You got it from Jump Street. Well, maybe you didn't get that quite of noisy announcement with Skenes upon arrival, but what you have gotten quite literally every time he's taken the ball has been flashes of brilliance, stretches of utter dominance, and it shows no signs of slowing down right now. Over his last 4 starts, Paul Skenes, 25 and a third innings, 32 punch outs, 4 walks. 4 walks. Punched out 32. 4 walks. 1.07 ERA. Now, here's the thing. We talk about whiff rate, and we talk about being able to generate swing and miss when necessary, when you need it. Being able to hunt the strikeout and log the strikeout is a hallmark of a strikeout pitcher. So is throwing a lot of pitches, right? So we're seeing this guy tap into the 95 plus, 100 plus pitch mark virtually every time he takes the ball. But the swing and miss that is accompanied by what you're getting with Paul Skenes right now, he has had 213 total swings over the last 4 starts. He has 58 swing and misses. They are swinging and missing over 25% of the time at everything this dude throws. That's a quarter of the pitches he's throwing, or a quarter of the swings that they're taking against him are swing and misses. They're not touching the baseball. A quarter of the time. North of a quarter of the time.
Is that good? Are you trying to make it seem like that's good or something? Or?
It's sexy as hell. It really is. And it's not a dude he knows why he's having the success he's having. He's not and when I say this, I don't need to be careful because I think you guys understand. I think people listening understand. But when Tim Lincecum came up and burst onto the scene, that was just pure stuff. Pure stuff. Here's the fastball. Here's the changeup. I got an idea kind of, but I'm just going to, here's the shit in the zone and you do with it what you will. And they couldn't do anything with it. And then Timmy started to learn how to pitch too. And that's when you just become a freight train. Because then we saw on the back end of what happens when you don't have that stuff. So Paul Skenes right now full of stuff and know-how on why he's getting the outs. But it's fucking dumb. I mean, we've talked about Mason Miller, and I think we can understand that that's probably not going to be the reality or real opportunity. But how does Paul Skenes, how is he not the front runner right now to start the All-Star?
If you're talking impact versus performance,
I mean, there's other guys that are absolutely deserving. Absolutely. Yeah. Let's make, when I say that, I am saying that from like a showman, from putting the game on a stage, from pedestalizing these guys. Like, that's the angle I'm coming from. Because there's other guys who have thrown the ball that Max Fried. That'd be a guy that you start to look at.
Well, I'm looking at, I'm looking at the numbers now. And we're going to give him the old Yamamoto treatment. We're going to throw out that first one. We're throwing out the first one. So he's made 8 starts since that first one, which wasn't even really that bad. It was just 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned. It was because he only went 4 innings. Like, if he ended up going 6 innings, 3 earned with 7 strikeouts, like, we're not talking about it. But it was 4 innings, 3 earned. So throw out the first one. Since his second start, where do you think he ranks in Major League Baseball in ERA?
Number 1.
Number 2.
Number 3.
Number 2. It's a 1.68. Christopher Sanchez of the Phillies, number 1. The strikeouts per 9, a little bit better than Mr. Sanchez. It's 11.73 in those 8 starts. He's averaging 6 innings per start. I know we just mentioned it's the first one was 4, but he's averaging 6 innings per start since his second time out there. He has the second lowest ERA in baseball, and he has the 3rd most strikeouts in MLB. Number
Jared,
1 in the National League.
It's 48 1/3 innings, 8 walks. I will always go to because the dominance of a power pitcher comes from being able to just overpower you and outstuff you, which is the conversation we're having right now. The reason I continue to go to the walks is because we're talking about a level of command with this kind of horsepower that you don't typically see right out of the gate from a guy with this kind of shit.
You made the Lincecum comparison. Mm-hmm. I mean, Skenes' current walk rate is half of what Tim Lincecum's career walk rate is.
There you go.
And Lincecum never, in any season of his career, posted a walk rate within 2% of what Paul Skenes is currently doing. I mean, you guys are tossing out some great numbers. The only dudes, and it's just the strikeout to walks that is the standout to me from what you guys were saying. The only guys with a strikeout rate of 30% or higher and a walk rate under 5% are him and Sale. Like, those are the only starting pitchers in baseball with that combination. And we can debate where he fits in the All-Star picture. It's just like, what were your expectations for Paul Skenes, and look at what he's done. And we're all on the same page that, like, it's not too early to say he's one of the 5 best starting pitchers in the National League. Like, how could it be too early to say that? Like,
right.
Look at the guys, Jared was talking about ERA, throw out the first start. Like, I was just looking at like ERA since his debut. If you look at the guys with lower ERAs since Skenes' debut, are you actually that much more like certain, for example, that like Christopher Sanchez is now a great pitcher, or Hunter Brown is somehow now an ace of the staff? No, you're not. Those are hot streaks. But like, Paul Skenes has a 2.06 ERA since the moment he stepped onto the Major League Baseball field. You don't even have to throw anything out. It's just 2.06. It's like, what did you expect him to do? And here it is. And it's like and it doesn't matter what underlying stat you look at, FIP, XFIP, ERA, XERA, like, they're all like, this is one of the 5 best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah. The strikeout rate, it's Garrett Crochet, 37.2%, Tyler Glasnow, 34.2%, and then Paul Skenes at 34.1%. So he's right there with Glasnow. They're basically tied. for second best right after Garrett Crochet, and then Chris Sale at 33.5.
Let's say for argument's sake that the NL's first three are some order of Tyler Glasnow, Chris Sale, and Paul Skenes. Good fucking luck to you.
Could you imagine if it would almost be Satchel Paige-esque if the National League was like, you know what? And in a further announcement, we're only bringing 3 arms.
Yeah.
It's going to be Sale, Glasnow, and Skenes. Everybody else is going to be watching from satellites out on the fucking ocean because we ain't bringing anybody else.
Then after you've dialed your eyes to get used to fucking 97, here comes Max Fried, fourth out of the gates. But no, seriously, like, I don't know. I still feel like Tyler Glasnow or Sale or somebody like that should get the nod as the starter, and Paul Skenes should just be on the team. Like, I think getting him on the team at this point needs to be the priority because he really still only has 50 innings pitched. He has half as many innings pitched, less than half as Tyler Glasnow on the season, for example, who's obviously going to make the team. So, like, it's not necessarily fair to compare, like, but I think it's a leap. It's a leap to say you should start the All-Star game. I just want him there because I think that spectacle will kind of take care of itself whenever he enters the game.
Yeah, I have him starting for the same reason we had Mason Miller starting, right? I want Mason Miller
point.
starting against the NL dudes because we know who those 3 guys were going to be. Sans Mookie now. So like you want that. I want to see that same shit.
I don't know why I'm worried about this, but I am to an extent. I don't want the rest of the league. I'm not worried about the fans so much, but I'm worried about the rest of the league starting to resent Paul Skenes. Like if he got the start, like if he got the All-Star game start, that's maybe the correct decision because we're trying to get eyeballs and it would be a spectacle and it's probably the right call. But like if you're one of these guys that have double the innings and similar numbers, you're like, well, I fucking worked my whole life for this and like I'm actually performing at a similar or better level. Like, why not me?
But this
like, is this a marketing tool? And it's like, well, yes, it is because it no longer counts. Like it's not determining home field in the World Series, so it is a marketing opportunity for the game.
But this is why I've always had an issue to an extent with how the All-Star balloting is gone about and how the voting is gone about. I have no problem whatsoever with fans having a say in who their All-Stars are going to be. But let's also remember that receiving that nod, there is very real and actual compensation attached to that when it comes to contracts for guys. So imagine not performing, but being a fan favorite and getting that nod, and that helps you out contractually. And then imagine performing and not getting that nod and it not helping you out contractually. And then you see somebody who may not have performed to the extent that you did receive the nod because there's a lot of pomp and circumstance surrounding them, because getting them on the game's biggest, brightest stage could be a viable marketing tool for the game. So we're going to overlook you and the justifiable and deserving performance, and we're going to give it to this individual because of what it would do for the game. That's a very tough pill to swallow if you're an all-star caliber player who is not going to be acknowledged nor financially compensated for your production, because the game and the entity believe that it would benefit them more so to have somebody else in that place, somebody else on that stage. That's kind of fucked up.
I mean, there's also, like, in conjunction with that, in order to probably put Paul Skenes on the team, and again, that's something I want to see, so I'm like arguing out of both sides of my mouth, but like the other reality is that every team needs to be represented. That's still a rule, right? Mm-hmm. So go ahead and look at the NL leaderboard for ERA this season and tell me what you find. You find that the top 3 pitchers are from the same fucking team, and they're from the Philadelphia Phillies. So you have Ranger Suarez with a 2.27, Christopher Sanchez with a 2.41, and Zach Wheeler with a 2.73. Okay. Doesn't even get into Aaron Nola, who's thrown more than twice the number of innings that Paul Skenes has and has had himself a nice season with a 3.43. So are you telling Christopher Sanchez basically what you just told Dallas, like in conjunction with, we're doing this for the good of the game because Paul Skenes is a bigger star than you are. Also, your teammates are going because, every team needs to be represented, and fucking Jake Irving or something has to go for the Nationals, whose ERA is a half a run worse than yours or something like that, or we want Skenes in. It's like, and I'm just picking him because he's on the leaderboard himself and would be a candidate. But like, if CJ Abrams isn't a Nationals representative, Jake Irvin might be so there's that sort of stuff that needs to be considered. Gavin Stone is tied with Zach Wheeler for ERA in the National League. He is 8 spots ahead of Tyler Glasnow in ERA in the NL. Which of those guys do you think is probably going to the All-Star game, or almost certainly going to the All-Star game? I think Tyler Glasnow is more deserving, but Gavin Stone is 4th in the ERA. Otani's also going. Freeman's going to go. It's tough, man.
The good thing is, though, Skenes might just be the Pirates guy, because who else in the Pirates is
Mitch Keller?
Mitch Keller?
He would be I'm so glad you said that. He would be a direct cost of that potentially if they can't find a spot for Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller's 11th in ERA at 3.20 and has thrown almost twice the number of innings that Paul Skenes has. It's tough. And it's particularly in a year. I'm sorry, I'm ranting at this point.
No,
but particularly in a year where offense is down and there are lots of pitchers with nice shiny ERAs in and around that 3 number that you would almost anticipate as locks for the All-Star game in most seasons. That's not necessarily the case this year.
And the other thing to this, Jay, is the viability of the arms that get the nod. Are you going to be able to pitch there? Sure. Are you not? Because that has an impact on whether or not you're, quote unquote, on the team. Shouldn't have an impact on whether or not you're acknowledged as a starter, or as an all-star. And so I think that's also something that you have to consider. Might be, look, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to be able to pitch. We'll still call you an all-star, but we're going to bring somebody else along too. So hopefully that's what that
a lot of these conversations ends up being moot by the time the All-Star game happens. But
exactly, because we've got relievers going now, and that's because 2 starters ago, this guy was going to go, but he can't because he's not going to pitch and blah, 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 blah. And so that's just how shit starts to filter down.
I just looked it up, and if I could be wrong here, but if he's pitching on July 5th, that means he'll pitch again on July 10th or 11th, that he'd be in line directly on 5 days rest at the All-Star game.
Who, Skenes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing that bodes well for him pitching in that game.
Do the Pirates, I don't think the Pirates have any days off between now and then? 1?
I don't know. But that might be worse because it's now they wanted to pitch the first game after the All-Star game, so you're not pitching the All-Star game.
Yeah, well, the All-Star game always gets treated like a bullpen.
Mm-hmm. But if you're gonna pitch the first game after the All-Star break, so they get 1 rest day, then a game 2 days later, are they shutting down those guys for the All-Star game typically?
Well, that's where it's from pitcher to pitcher, organization to organization.
I think Tanner Houck lined up perfectly for the All-Star game, but then he just gave up 7 runs to the fucking Padres. So
Pods, Friars, dads are hot.
They're hot right now. They actually, Padres fans were cool, I guess. I mean, I feel like when it comes to the Dodgers, they're very, I don't know what the word is, rambunctious. They're
come on, because they're being told that they're not a rivalry.
I know they're playing second fiddle in that market, but
I
expected them to be more mean, but they were playful.
Padres fans?
Yeah.
No, they're not mean.
Dude, you don't remember fucking in, what was that, 2020 when I was doing the Tatis shirts and Padres fans were fucking attacking me? They were buy local and don't support this shit. Back when at Barstool, if I sold a t-shirt, I didn't make any money. They're this fucking grifter. You weren't with us when we sucked and now you're trying to make money off of us. I'm bro, I'm just trying to justify my salary here. I don't see a dime of this shit. They were very mean back then. But
I think
they were
that
cool
also,
this weekend.
Yeah, part of where you're coming from at that point.
Yeah. But
Padres fans, West Coast contingency, Barstool, they just
yeah. There was a lot of that too.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
You always got to factor that in.
Yeah, but they were friendly this weekend. Another Fenway Park invasion by an opposing team's fan base. Manny Machado was because he played with the Orioles for so long. He was what the fuck happened to this place? paraphrasing, but that was the sentiment, was like, what the fuck? Like, I remember coming in here being, overwhelming Red Sox fans, and there are a lot of Padres fans here. But I mean, that's probably the second or third time, whatever it was, Jake, that the Padres have even played at Fenway Park. So people plan those trips like a year in advance. Like, I get it. I think the whole like opposing team thing can be overblown sometimes at Fenway, but Padres are playing good ball. They were, again, when we were talking about the Orioles hitting 60 home runs, it was the Padres right behind them with 42, I believe, or 46, something like that.
Slam Diego's back.
Yeah, Kyle Higashioka had like 20 of them, or what the fuck he is. Like, he's hit a lot of home runs recently. Yeah, he's been doing it. Padres been doing it.
Profar might be an MVP.
Profar, Machado hit like 9 home runs this past weekend at Fenway. Oh, yeah. But yeah, if you want tickets to that All-Star game that we just talked about, or that home run derby that we just talked about, you got to go to Game Time. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of all Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets to first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Where are the A's? Where are you at now, Dallas?
We are home.
Oh, welcome home.
Oaklandia.
Go home. Woo. You want tickets at the Coliseum, the illustrious, the world famous piece of history, Coliseum. Your time's running out. You're going to want to go get tickets. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or the event. Save even more when you choose a section you let Game Time choose the seats for you. Toggling this feature with the all-in pricing shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code BID for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code BID for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Next up, the Houston Astros are now over 500. For the first time in 2024, the Houston Astros are back from the dead after being 12 games under 500, I want to say. They're now over 500 for the first time all season long at 42-41. They are 3.5 games back of the first place Seattle Mariners, and they've won 9 of their last 10 games. And not only did they do all this, but the series that they played over the weekend was against the red hot Mets, who were on a very similar hot streak as the Astros when they went into the series. The Mets took the first one. The Astros take the next 2. I believe we were talking about the Astros, just me and Jay. So I would love to get the thoughts of Joseph and Dallas on this hot streak that the Houston Astros have been on. And I mean, I don't even have to ask the question, are they back? Like, they're back.
They're back. They've got guys. You get Jordan back. You get the performance that you've gotten from Hunter Brown, a name that we just kicked around. But you look at what they've done over the last 2 weeks offensively, and I think you're getting production from essentially everywhere in the lineup. Everywhere. I look at Yannier Diaz, and that's a guy who, correct me if I'm wrong, over the last 2 weeks, I don't think there's been a ton of power from Yannier Diaz, but from that catching position, for you to be a viable offensive producer, it's going to help this lineup and the length of this lineup significantly. And I think that is what we're seeing here. Over the last 2 weeks, Bregman, Altuve, Diaz is hitting almost fucking 400, by the way, over the last 2 weeks. Jake Myers, Yordan Alvarez upon return, right? Singleton. Like, everywhere you're getting guys delivering somehow, some way. And that is what this Houston Astros team was not getting You were at times short, it felt like 6 players in the lineup. There just was nothing happening at all at any point in time. And you weren't getting much help on the mound either, because you were trying to navigate a very injury-laden waters. And, well, things are starting to change a bit. The tide is starting to turn just a bit. But I believe it's spearheaded by what this offense has been able to do. Like I said, over the last 2 weeks, there hasn't been a ton of power to come along with it, but they've done a phenomenal job of just being able, what I call building innings, keeping the line moving, where if you're not going to hit that big homer, you've got to be able to string knocks together, knocks and walks. It's got to happen. And with a team who, remember, doesn't swing and miss a lot or has the capacity to put the ball in play with regularity, once they start to do that, because of who they are, those balls that are in play, those balls are hit harder. Those balls are finding holes. And now you start to see this team, this group, who you say, is this who they are? This can't be who they are. There's way too much talent on this team for it to look this way. And that's where I can remember Joe Espada saying when they were in town, like, hey, we have got a lot of veterans over there. A lot of veterans over there. And I am not too worried. They're going to figure it out. They know how to handle this. And that was a very eye-opening statement, because I think it's easy to look at the Astros and say, yep, they're washed, they're cooked, they don't have what they used to have. It's just a matter of time. But I think it's also really easy to overlook what Joe Espada has placed emphasis on, which is the veteran presence in that room and just how much that can matter, especially for a team in a lull. Because I watch every day a young group of players without a ton of veteran presence struggle at times through these lulls. And they struggle to have those self-talks, those conversations that can pull you out of the fog. This Astros team has done a great job of just keeping the blinders on and trusting who they are as a group. And it's now paid off. They have gone from 12 under to sea level and surging.
I don't have the stats, but it has to be, I'm guessing, you just talked about their offense, but it has to be the pitching that's been getting on this hot streak. That's been the issue all year for them. Their offense has always been nice. It's just every single one of their pitchers has been hurt. And 2 of them, they got Hunter Brown and Ari Getty, who have been like 2 of the worst starters in baseball this year. And unfortunately, they're stuck with them because Luis Garcia, Christian Javier, Urquidy, all Tommy John, not pitching this year. They got Verlander and McCullers to come back. But, McCullers, who knows what you're getting with? He hasn't pitched in forever. Verlander has been, he's old as fuck, but to call a spade, he's got a little neck discomfort. You don't really know what you're going to get with Verlander. So that's what I'd be worried about if I'm the damn Astros. I mean, the hitters are going to be there. It's going to be the starters. Ronald Blanco deserves, he's the reason why the Astros are even here right now. That's the most valuable player on their team. Ronald Blanco, he's a cheater. We know. He got caught with foreign substance. But the fact that this guy wasn't even supposed to be on the team coming into the year and all these injuries happened and he's been their best starter by far in a team that has had no starters, he's pretty much saved the Astros.
Well, that's why I said, Joey, what you're getting from the offense over these last 2 weeks, because what you're talking about as far as the pitching, keeping them in it in totality, even with what they've suffered injury-wise, like the last 2 weeks, think about Arrighetti, his last 2 turns. Ronel Blanco, his last 2 turns. Hunter Brown, his last 2 turns. They've been good, but you haven't been able to click offensively the way that they are right now in conjunction with those outings. So you're getting the Hunter Brown and the Blanco and the Arrighetti over their last 2 outings matching up with what the offense is doing over the last 2 weeks or so. That's where the surge has come from. And that's why I always talk about cylinders, right? Let's say you have 3, pitching, hitting, defense. You got to be clicking on at least 2 of those to give yourself a shot at any point in time. If you can pitch and play defense, well, maybe all you need is that big homer, that 3-run homer, and that can help you. It's a tough way to make a living, but that happens. If you're able to pitch and score runs, maybe you kick the ball around, you still like your opportunity because you're keeping the other team off the board and you're producing. So if you're not clicking on at least 2 of those, it's a tough world to live in. And the Astros have found a way to click on at least 2 of those over these last 2 weeks.
The Astros lost to the Yankees on May 8th. And since then, their starting pitchers have a 3.58 ERA. Led by Brown, who has a 2.04 over that span.
Brown's been lights out.
They've had 8 guys make at least one start over the span. Blanco, a 2.79. Verlander made 6 starts over the span, a 3.63. Yeah.
What was that date you had?
May 9th. May 9th was the start of their comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got the 6, so that's 3.61 you said?
3.58.
3.58. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's top 5 ERA in baseball over that stretch by your starting rotation?
Yeah.
And that's more in line with the Astros that we've come to. I mean, it is. Only
without the usual cast of characters, though.
I know. No, I get it. I get it. Yep.
You think they can withstand that, though? Because right now I'm looking, they got 4 starters, according to roster resource: Blanco, Valdez, Hunter Brown, Arrighetti.
I mean, Valdez just got his ass kicked again.
Yeah.
Talk about a season that, some
Mixed
weird
bag.
seasons. If we went back and looked at the betting favorites for the AL Cy Young to start the season, almost like non-candidates now from some of the top dogs, like Valdez, Luis Castillo. Those guys were like 2 and 3 in that. Anyway,
Well, didn't we have? I'm pretty sure we had like 3/5 of the fucking Mariners rotation as Cy Young
don't write
candidates.
don't write off George Kirby's chances just yet, buddy.
Oh no.
But Fangraphs, to the point about the Astros, Fangraphs now has them as definitively more likely to make the playoffs than the Royals, than the Red Sox, and the Rays, all of whom have similar or better records right now. So yeah, they're at 54%. Obviously this stuff's fluid. We all know that, but if I was the Mariners or a Mariners fan or a member of the Mariners front office, I would be getting a little bit tight.
Let's play. I'm glad you brought those teams up. Rays, Astros, you just mentioned, Bo Sox, the Royals you just mentioned. So let's play a little game, gentlemen. As we sit today, the Rays are 4 games out of the wild card. The Astros are 3.5 games out of the wild card. And the Red Sox, Jared, are just
Why the fuck? Why you gotta say that?
and a
Why
half.
you gotta say
You
that?
shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
Say-
you definitely shouldn't have said that.
Say what?
Why
The
you gotta
Red
say
Sox?
the A's are not a good team.
They
And
are.
it's Jake's birthday.
I'm
And
just
it's Jake's
identifying
birthday.
a baseball team. I said a word, the Red Sox.
It's Jake's
So-
birthday.
So the Red Sox are 1.5 games back.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks. That sucks that they're so close to being in a playoff spot. How many games back are the A's? You fucking idiot.
To be
Well,
fair to Dallas, the
how
Athletics, it doesn't
defensive.
rhyme with sucks. It doesn't rime with sucks. So it's
Yeah,
like,
it
how
doesn't even
def-
rhyme, dude.
but that's
How
what I'm saying. That's why.
defensive?
I'm not defensive.
It doesn't seem like it. But anyways, so with those teams sitting where they're at, again, Rays 4 out, Astros 3.5 out, the Sox 1.5 out. Where, with the remainder of their schedules, do we see these teams? Cool, Jay. Do we see these teams at the All-Star break? At the All-Star break, all right? Is there a shift in this landscape between these 3 teams? And here's what their schedules look like heading into the All-Star break. The Rays, again, 4.5 out or 4 out, we'll see Kansas City, Texas, the Yankees, and the Guardians. Side note, 3 out of those 4 teams are above 500. For the Astros, they will see Toronto, Minnesota, Miami, and Texas. And that's right, one of those teams, the Twins, is above 500. and the Red Sox. They will see the Miami Marlins. They will see the Yankees. They will see the Oakland Athletics. And they will also see the Kansas City Royals. And 2 of those teams are above 500. So, do we see a shift before we get to the All-Star break? Where are these teams as we enter the All-Star break?
Man, I'm kind of looking at the Red Sox, man, making a little run here, getting to the All-Star break, getting in a playoff spot. Honestly.
Yeah, they're going to be in a playoff spot. They've been in a playoff spot. Like very recently, they were in a playoff spot. So I don't know what we're talking about here. It's a dumb conversation.
They got some guys who could hurl it over there in Boston, man. And if they're fighting against the freaking Marlins and the Yankees, who have been limping around, looking like shit. Then they got the fucking heavyweight title fight against the Athletics. That's going to be a series. But then the Royals have been tailing off too. So I like the Red Sox surpassing the Royals into the All-Star break. These Boston guys in Texas are going to have heads as big as freaking airplanes. Dallas, you might not be able to say that sucks word over there in Texas. You might get your ass beat with these boys.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying we could have some playoff hopefuls in the house at the All-Star game.
Yeah, that's why this kind of caught my eye. I'm glad Jay said those teams. So I'd been thinking about this, thinking about what that was going to look like, what that picture was starting to unfold and show us.
Astros as a team, best ERA in the American League, by the way, since that turning point, May 9th. Only the Phillies have been better, so they're second in Major League Baseball.
Damn, that's been their X factor all year. If they could pitch, their offense is still fire.
Well, they've been had pitching. They've been had pitching. Yeah, the offense hasn't let them down pretty much all year. It's the pitching, but the pitching is now the best in the American League. That's a pretty sizable sample. Like we're talking almost 2 months now.
We're the halfway mark. Oh, it's 2 months. Yeah, we're talking
well almost beyond. 2 months. 2 months of being the best in the American League. Come on, stop sleeping on them Stros, boy.
Well,
next thing you know, we're gonna have fucking Tex on this show.
Can you make that starters because their bullpen's good? I'm just worried about their starters.
I can make that starters.
Look at their starter ERA over that span.
Well, we already did. It's 3.58. But yeah, let's see. So the Astros are 6th in Major League Baseball. Phillies, Orioles, Mariners, Yankees, Pirates, Astros since May 9th. Yeah. Anyways. Got to talk a little 4th of July here. No 4th of July tradition is tastier than a backyard cookout. So cue the fireworks because right now you can save 50% off site-wide during the Omaha Steaks 4th of July sale. That's right. Omaha Steaks is firing up the flavor with 50% off. Incredible extra-aged steaks, juicy, pure ground burgers, jumbo deli-style franks, and so much more. Go to omahasteaks.com and use the promo code, I'm guessing BID. This is another read that just says promo code.
Yeah, it's BID.
Use promo code BID at checkout and you'll get an extra $30 off your order. I'm going to stop the read right here because Omaha Steaks for real it's the best. Like the fact that they're giving you 50% off and then use the promo code BID for an extra $30 off, like there's no excuse. Like if you're having a cookout for the 4th of July and you don't have Omaha Steaks, I'm not coming. I got 2 cookouts that I'm coming to on the 4th of July, and that's my new barometer. If it's not Omaha Steaks in the grill, guess who's not walking through that door? Me. With Omaha Steaks, the possibilities are endless. Endless flavor, endless variety, and endless value. With premium proteins, they will have you celebrating stars and grill stripes forever. I like that. And they're all 50% off. Don't forget, you'll get an extra $30 off your order when you use the promo code BID at checkout. Just head on over to omahasteaks.com and shop for all the fabulous flavor that's guaranteed to make your 4th of July spectacular. But hurry, This offer won't last long. I would imagine it's not going to be available. The 4th of July promotion will not be available after the 4th of July. So we're quickly approaching the 4th of July. Just head on over to omahasteaks.com and save 50% off site-wide during the 4th of July sale. Use the promo code BID at checkout to get an extra $30 off today. Love Omaha Steaks. When I see that styrofoam show up at the front door, I know we eating good for a while. Shout out to Omaha Steaks. We can blow Aaron Judge for a little bit because I was doing a little I was in the kitchen myself this morning, Jay. Hey, I know you know, two-time fathers like us, we're up early and we like to get in the kitchen, don't we? We like to fire up the nugs,
Dude,
as we two-time dads tend to do.
as soon as the eyes open, baby.
Oh, right in the kitchen. The first stat I'm going to throw out there, maybe a little bit of a downer. Yankee fans actually responded to this as a positive. The Yankees went 14-13 in the month of June. Stop you right there. They were like, it felt like we went 2-30. So the fact that the Yankees had a winning record in June, right there, that's a win. Big time win for Yankee fans. The Yankees went 14-13 in the month of June, and that was with Aaron Judge and Juan Soto combining to hit 350 with a 12.27 OPS and Garrett Cole returning. The rest of the team hit 220 with a 6.42 OPS. That's not good. That's not good at all. And then Aaron Judge, obviously, you know, he hits home runs over the weekend. So it's now we're at the halfway point and we're on 62 watch once again. Only this time, a couple of caveats. First, we don't have to hear Dallas talk about how great Shohei Ohtani is while Aaron Judge is chasing 62 home runs, because now they're in separate leagues and there's no one really threatening Aaron Judge for the MVP award this year. It's just going to go to him. Aaron Judge has 31 home runs through his first 84 games. He's missed 2 games. He had 30 home runs through his first 84 games, missed 3 games in 2022, the year that he hit 62. So he's outpacing himself to break his own record, the prestigious American League home run record. He's outpacing himself. And not only is he outpacing himself, Judge had a 968 OPS through 84 games in 2022. He has an 1144 OPS through 84 games this year. So
Better.
It's not just the homers, it's everything. I think like the batting average is like fucking.
We
like
also
30
have to
points
hear
higher.
from don't have to hear from Roger Maris Jr.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
Why
my
not?
God.
Why can't we?
Why can't we?
He should be there. I mean, the guy's part of baseball history. You're just gonna forget about history?
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, what do you? I don't want to say what do you expect from a guy like Aaron Judge now at this point, but this is why this dude is as celebrated as he is. There's how many guys in the league can take a team and put them on their shoulder for a month at a time
And get them one game over 500 for a whole month. I agree.
There's 2 players.
There's just not many. There's not many.
Well, is Aaron Judge the best right-handed hitter that we've seen since Albert Pujols?
No.
Hmm.
Since Albert Pujols.
That was like 2 years ago, so I'd say yeah. Over the past year and a half, I'd say Jarren Duran probably the best right-handed hitter.
Miguel
Brother,
Cabrera.
let me take you a step further. He's the best right-handed hitter we've ever seen.
Wow. What?
No.
All of us.
I mean, that include you're putting him ahead of Albert Pujols?
If we're talking about pure hitting ability at the peak of their powers, I absolutely am putting him ahead of Albert Pujols. Yeah.
Wow.
At this point.
Love it.
Do you have any statistical context to
Probably not.
back up these claims?
Knowing
I
Jay,
do.
hey, probably not.
I do, absolutely.
Probably not once.
I mean, and again, relatively speaking, right? Like there are things that Pujols maybe you could argue brought defensively at first base. I mean, I think Judge is a more impactful defender. Aaron Judge is 2022 by adjusted OPS plus is better. I mean, that season's already happened. It's in the books. That is a better season than any season Albert Pujols delivered in his career. Not particularly close. This season is 217. So it's better than the season when he won the MVP and hit 62 homers. So if you're following, that would also be better than anything Albert Pujols has done. Albert Pujols' best season by adjusted OPS is 192. That was in 2008. He also had a 189 and a 187 in 09 and 03. So he's got plenty of really elite seasons and is one of the 15 or so, 20 or so greatest hitters of all time in terms of the bulk of his career and peak. But if we're just talking about what did these people look like at the peak of their powers as right-handed hitters, yeah, I feel like really pretty decent saying that he's better than Albert Pujols as a right-handed hitter, period.
I feel like Dallas is not going to take that lightly.
I mean, what's the dispute? What is the dispute other than nostalgia? Like, and I, again, this isn't me saying that Judge's career is better or that I'd rather have Judge's career. I'm saying that his best seasons, I'm just struggling to see how they aren't definitively better than the best seasons that Albert Pujols did. Albert Pujols, fuck OPS plus. How about just homers? Albert Pujols' career high in home runs is 49. Judge just hit 62. He's already got 31. He could have a bad second half by his standards and fall into Albert Pujols' career high in home runs this season.
Dallas, are you going to take this?
Well, it's not like I have anybody to defend here. The guy that I threw out there was Miguel Cabrera, just in terms of the art of hitting.
Pujols was better than Miguel Cabrera.
I mean, listen, if you want to do this art of hitting stuff, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, I know that he was like a magician, and I can visualize Miggy hitting as clearly as I can visualize any hitter I've ever seen in my life, particularly at his prime. His career high was 190. It's still the same deal. Like, I know he won the 44 career home runs were his career high. Like, Judge is operating on a level that's like, I think we would appreciate it more if the overall offensive environment wasn't what it was, because then his numbers, if the whole tide was higher, then we would be seeing numbers that we haven't seen since Barry Bonds coming out of Aaron Judge. And then nobody would be questioning it.
What do you mean if the tide was higher for everybody else?
Because, like, okay, so the overall offensive environment when Miggy and Pujols were playing baseball in their primes was maybe not at the steroid level, quote unquote, of the 90s. It was definitely higher than what we're seeing in 2024. So in some senses, Aaron Judge's raw baseball stats, I think, are in some ways like underappreciated, because we're like, well, he doesn't even have a 1200 OPS or something like that. It's like, well, within the context of his own offensive environment, he basically has those type of numbers. Like, Bonds would be the only guy who has put up offensive numbers comparable to what Aaron Judge has done within the context of the league that he's playing in. It's just like, I'm glad you asked that question, because the more I talk about it, the more convinced I am that Aaron Judge actually is that guy.
Wow. Wow. On Jake's birthday, no less. Maybe, you know what? That kind of smells like a video essay to me, Jay. Hey, I don't know.
I love that idea. Actually.
Yeah, that smells like a video essay to me. Who's the best right-handed hitter of this generation with statistical context?
Why Aaron Judge is underrated.
Yeah. Check out the YouTube channel right now. Jay Hay has a video about Jarren Duran quite possibly being the greatest snub in the history of the All-Star game. I happen to agree.
Real disrespect. Put Jarren Duran in the All-Star game. We looked it up. I mean, obviously, I would encourage people to watch the video. Please do, Red Sox fan or otherwise. But Jarren Duran might not be the type of hitter that Aaron Judge is, but in what he's doing offensively, forget the defense, forget even the base running. What he's doing offensively is damn near unprecedented in baseball history, and depending on where you want to set your standards, is unprecedented in literally the history of the entire American League. So he's got a blend of homers, stolen bases, doubles, and triples that are exactly what we fucking beg for as fans of baseball. We're always complaining, like, give me the action, give me the balls in play, give me the running, give me the speed. Jarren Duran has all of that stuff, and he's right in front of us, and he should be in the All-Star game. And for different reasons than Paul Skenes being in the All-Star game or Mason Miller being in the All-Star game, I think Jarren Duran has, beyond a statistical argument, he's got a similar sort of for the fans type of argument because of the style of play that he brings and the unique skill set that he has.
I love that. It's a great video. I watched it the second it dropped. Gave it the thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
It's very important. Yeah, that's even more important. Subscribe.
Yep, subscribe, like it, give it a thumbs up. Make the algorithm love it too. Jake, I believe it's that fucking time.
Oh, welcome back to Family Feud, Baseball is Dead version. I'm your man, Justin Havens. I got to tell you, Thursday I missed out, obviously, on the podcast. I want you to know, while my wife was giving birth, I was listening to the Family Feud. So
I said that too. I was like, even though he's in the delivery room, it's just killing him that he's not here right now.
Oh man, it was tough. I was like, am I going to make it out in time for the pod? Come on. Oh, goddamn. No, it's good to be back. Family Feud's back. As Jared said at the top, this is obviously a Joey episode on a Monday, so Joey's popping in. The question we now have to answer is, Joey, do you feel comfortable with the rules, or do you want me to do a little walkthrough? I don't want to insult anybody. And secondly, we have to decide what order you and Dallas are going in.
Dallas can go first as the veteran of the squad, captain of the team.
Love that.
I'm not sure if I really know the rules. You could explain the rules real quick and we could cut it out because I know everyone listening knows the rules.
All right. So we polled 100 Baseball is Dead fans. So each question, there are 5 questions. Each question adds up to 100 points. There are a variety of answers given depending on the question. Some range from a dozen answers to 5 answers. So it just depends. You're trying to guess the answer that received the most responses.
Yeah, got it.
And the goal for you and Dallas by the end is to reach 200 points between the two of you. If you answer, since you're going to be going second, if you answer the same question that Dallas provided or the same response, you will hear a in your ear like that, and you have to give another answer. And you have a timed, I think it's 40, what is it, 40 seconds, Jake, for the second person? 45?
45 for the second person, yep.
45 seconds for the second person to answer all 5 questions. Okay?
Okay. So who goes first, Dallas? Strategically wise.
What? Do what?
Who should go first? Me or you? I'm assuming you're better at this than me because you're on the real show. We all do.
No, well, the Discord has they have negated experience. Experience doesn't matter, Joe. Experience does not matter with the Discord. So,
aren't they just people?
I think Dallas. I think Joey should lead off. I think Joey should lead off.
All right, Joey's going to lead.
Yeah.
Right. Dallas, take off your headset.
I'm just here for the. This is the first time I'm getting to hear both. This is nice.
Yeah, Dallas needs to do some quiet contemplation on whose fault it is that he comes up short. It's not the Discord.
No.
Okay. Are you ready, Joey?
Yeah.
Okay. Question 1. If you could choose one batter from the NL Central to build your team around, contracts don't matter, who are you choosing? Any player from the NL Central.
Cruz.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no chance and 10 being definitely happening, what are the chances of the Blue Jays trading Vlad Jr. before the deadline?
7.
Who has the best home uniforms in the AL East?
That would easily have to be the Baltimore Orioles.
How many players from the AL East will finish in the top 5 of the AL MVP vote this season?
3.
Who was the greatest pitcher of the 1990s?
Greg Maddux.
Wow. Did he get them all?
That was simultaneously the least impressive and most impressive round that we've had, maybe all season.
I mean, that dude.
And it's perfect that Joey provided it. Yeah.
Yeah. He fucking took 20 seconds on one question.
I was real nervous after about 15 seconds into question 1. Jake,
That trips me up. Every time you say divisions, my head just goes in fucking like I'm in a Ferris wheel. Like, who's in the division? How they got so many players? There's so many players in the NL Central, dude.
Yeah.
Jake,
That's a good answer, though.
You want to give me your total?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing 203. Is that what you got?
Hold on one second. I got to double check now. Because he might have just walked in and made everybody else look like a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
Dallas, put your headset on. Dallas. I'm going to make him walk. We're going to make him do it anyway. Does that sound good? Let's not tell him. We'll tell him at the end that Joey got 203 and his answers didn't matter. All right, are you ready, buddy?
What did he do?
Fucking.
We can hear him. How can?
Hello?
Hello? How would
Hello?
his audio get
There we
turned
go.
down from
Sweet.
fucking
Nope.
sitting there? All right, go ahead.
All right, you ready, Dallas?
No. How'd Joe do? What do we got?
I tried my best. I tried my best.
He tried his best. He tried his best. You need to have a healthy round, okay? Are you ready?
Fuck, I don't know. Joey's scaring me right now. All right.
Question 1. If you could choose one batter from the NL Central to build your team around, contracts don't matter, who are you choosing?
Ellie De La Cruz. No. Okay. O'Neal Cruz.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no chance and 10 being definitely happening, what are the chances of the Blue Jays trading Vlad Jr. before the deadline?
4.
Who has the best home uniforms in the AL East?
Jays.
How many players from the AL East will finish in the top 5 of the AL MVP vote this season?
2.
Who was the greatest pitcher of the 1990s?
Maddox. Randy Johnson. Fuck!
No, that's fine. It's just funny how there's like so many options for the greatest, and you're like one person you name, and it's like, oh my god, Greg Maddux. It's not him. All right, that's funny. So let's add it up. Oh, all right, Dallas.
We do okay?
Yeah. Good job, guys. Joey got 203 by himself.
And a baby Joe! Let's go!
We just wanted you to run through it anyway, but Joey he went ahead and won the whole event.
Attaboy. Attaboy. See, Joe, look,
surprise.
as your captain, sending you out there first strategically was a great decision by me. Compliments to me. I'm not going to take the credit. Compliments to me for that. That's all of your work, Joey. Good decision by me to have you go first. Great job, me, us. That a baby Joe.
That's a good skipper right there. That's why Jarren got fired. His ass would never do that shit.
Fuck out of here.
Question
Joe,
1.
lead off.
If you could choose one batter from the NL Central to build around, who would you choose? Joey nailed after some real drama, nailed the first answer. Ellie De La Cruz got 65 votes.
Yeah.
O'Neal Cruz, who some will tell you is just as big of a star as Ellie De La Cruz, got 1. 1 vote.
Who's the second place getter?
Christian Yelich, holding strong with 10.
So there's like no other answer to get. It was either Ellie or nobody.
Ellie was a big piece of that puzzle. Could have won without getting Ellie, but you guys got him. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no chance, 10 being definitely happening, what are the chances of the Blue Jays trading Vlad Jr. before the trade deadline? Joey came with 7. That was the number 2 answer. Got 18 points. Dallas said 4. That was 15, tied for 3rd. So you guys got 33 points out of that answer. Nice job. That was, I believe, the biggest spread of any question. Who has the best home uniforms in the AL East? You guys managed to win handily despite not getting the number 1 overall answer, which was the Boston Red Sox with 37. Orioles got 28, Blue Jays 19, Yankees 12, Rays got 4. Would love to talk to the people who voted for the Rays. How many players from the AL East will finish in the top 5 of the AL MVP vote this season? 3 was the overwhelmingly favored answer. Joey got that. He got 58 points. Dallas, you said 2. That was the number 2 answer at 23. Number 4 people got 17. That was the number 3 answer. Who is the greatest pitcher of the 1990s? Greg Maddux, the number 1 answer. Joey came through with that as well. 34 points. Big Unit, 29 points. Pedro, 19. Roger, 14. So you guys got the top 2 answers there. And obviously, as I said, 203 for Joey by himself. 64, 18, 28, 58, 34. Nice job.
Collectively, what was our total score?
That's a good question. Give me a second.
Might be the record.
290.
3 what?
290. It was
290?
203 plus 87 from Dallas.
the record.
Yeah, that's the record so far. 290.
Baby Joe. Good work, young Joseph.
That's pretty easy.
Who saw that coming?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Not right off the bat.
Joe, I got to tell you, Joe, they were watching for the train wreck, Joe. They weren't watching for you to cross the finish line. They were waiting for the train wreck, and I'm glad you derailed them.
This is what they do all the time. When you guys hit me with that dumbass game that I had no idea how to play, like, oh, this is who we go, and we'll give him last year, and he'll look like a fucking dumbass. Got it in fucking like 2 guesses. So I'm 2 for 2 on the little setups you got going on. Keep trying.
Keep trying.
No one roots harder for you than I do, Joe. You know that.
I don't know about that.
I said he should go first. You took credit for having him go first. I'm pretty sure that was me that said Joe's going first.
You're not a part of the team, friend. This was a Joey and I decision. It was a Joey and I conversation that was had. It was a decision that we reached together.
It was the
GM. I made it as the captain, as Joey said. I didn't want to do it, but it felt like it was the best thing to do.
He let off
clearly
and won it all by
the correct
himself,
decision,
which was all me.
Credit to us.
You're welcome.
Me.
You are welcome.
Me.
All right. Final thoughts here today, Joseph. Anything on your mind?
Well, we didn't really touch on the home run derby too much, but with
I'm sure we will. We'll definitely dive more into it as the field progresses.
Okay. Well, I don't know about you guys, but when I saw this, when I was told of the new format in my brain, the first thing that came to my brain was like, they're changing these rules for Shohei Ohtani to be in the derby to ensure they're prioritizing distance and homer for the round. They're not doing a head-to-head matchup because if you look at the numbers, Shohei's first in homers, second in homers behind Aaron Judge. And who knows if Aaron Judge competes. But if Shohei's number 1 and then they put in, because they're going to rank it on who has the most homers, you got Vladdy, who we know is probably going to be in it. And he's a beast at home run derbies, who's lower, who would be like the last ranked derby guy, and Pete Alonso. So they're thinking if we put Shohei and he's number 1, he's going to have to first round matchup against either Pete Alonso and Vladdy. We don't want that because, we don't want our best guys going out first round. So they changed the rules so that there's not a head-to-head matchup anymore. That way, Shohei has a better chance of moving on. In my brain, that's how it worked. And that format makes me think Shohei is going to be competing. So that's what I'm happy about. Be on the lookout for that.
Jay, any nugs today?
Yeah, I got a bunch, obviously, after missing some time. I feel like it's been forever. I'll try and go as fast as I can here. Jackson Merrill. I think that's somebody we have not given love to this season. A nice young player having a nice season. 363 batting average with 9 homers and a 1.168 OPS over his last 21 games. Overall on the season, he has a 125 OPS plus in his age 21 campaign. The only Padres player ever to put up a 125 OPS plus in his age 21 season or younger is Tatis, who was substantially above 125, but nobody else has done it in Padres history. Rafael Devers, after a 703 OPS through his first 13 games, now has a 992 OPS over his last 58 in what's looking more and more like a career season, or at least a career season to date for Rafael Devers. Weird line yesterday for Kevin Gausman. I was kind of curious about the last time someone had a start where he had 4 1/3 with 7 earned, 5 walks, but also managed 7 strikeouts. The last pitcher to hit those marks in a start of 5 or fewer innings pitched was Matt Garza back in 2015, felt like the most appropriate possible find on that search, given how Garza's bad starts used to go. Taj Bradley had another really nice start yesterday. He now has a 1.24 ERA over his last 5 starts with 40 strikeouts and 116 batters faced. That's a 34% strikeout rate. So we may be seeing his breakout happening in real time. Seth Lugo had his 3rd game this season on Sunday with 10 or more strikeouts and 1 or 0 walks. The only pitcher in Royals history with more such starts in a single season is Zach Greinke's in 2009 when he had 4. So Lugo's got the rest of this season to tie Greinke. Saberhagen, Cone, Apier, none of those guys ever had a season with starts like Julio Lugo is delivering right now. Stephen Kwan, right when we gave that man the attention that he deserved, really shows how difficult it is to hit 400. Like damn near impossible. Let me put it this way. He hit his high point of 398 on June 16th, okay? In the 13 games since then, he's hit 269, 321, 500. So he has an 821 OPS over 56 plate appearances, which is good. That's just good baseball. But his batting average is now down to 368 on the season, okay? If we assume 275 at-bats over the remainder of Stephen Kwan's season, he would have to hit 429 over those 275 at-bats to hit 400 on the season. Just thanks to this, you shouldn't even call it a slump, but just thanks to this mini slump he's in right now, the quest for 400 is essentially extinguished before it even began. Bobby Witt Jr., just fucking amazing, man. Him and Gunnar Henderson, what a combination. Bobby Witt now is up to 25 or more triples, 80 doubles, 60 homers, and 100 stolen bases in what is now his age 24 season. The only players in baseball history to reach those marks through their age 24 campaigns are Witt, Mike Trout, Cesar Cedeno, and Vada Pinson. So a pretty limited list. Jackson Chourio, 324 batting average, 921 OPS over his last 23 games after a 575 OPS through his first 51. Nolan Jones, if you weren't paying attention to that beautiful Rockies-White Sox game yesterday, Nolan Jones, first player this season to have a 5 strikeout game. So tough break. He went 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts.
Wow.
The last person to do so before Nolan was also a Rockies player, which was Ryan McMahon on September 16th of last season. Joe Ryan, 5 innings pitched, 0 walks, 10 strikeouts yesterday. The 5th start by a Twins pitcher with 10 or more strikeouts and 0 walks, tying last season for the most such starts in a single season in franchise history. They have the rest of this season. Garrett Crochet continues to do it. He's got a 1.49 ERA over his last 11 starts with 94 strikeouts and only 11 walks over those 11 starts. He's the youngest pitcher in MLB history to have an 11-start stretch with 90 or more strikeouts, 11 or fewer walks, and an ERA of 1.50 or lower. The only other guys who are 25 or younger even to do it are Johan and Shane McClanahan. I didn't get a chance to drop this when we were talking about Gunnar in the Derby. But he's already up to 6.1 B-WAR in 83 games this year. He had 6.2 B-WAR in 150 games last year. And his 183 OPS plus. I feel like for as much love as this guy gets, we're still not viewing him like peak A-Rod offensively at shortstop. And if he continues, we should be, because his 183 OPS plus would be the best single season mark by a shortstop since Hall of Famer Archie Vaughn in 1935. Only Vaughn and Honus Wagner would be ahead of what Gunnar Henderson's current mark is. That's how fucking awesome he is. Monday pitchers, Hunter Brown, not many games today, 2.04 ERA over his last 9 appearances, 8 of which have been starts. Dallas has touched on him a few times. Mitch Keller, Tuesday games, since we won't be potting until Wednesday, obviously. Mitch Keller, 1.85 ERA over his last 9 starts for the Buccos. Tarek Skubal has a 1.98 ERA over his last 21 starts going back to last season. The only Tigers pitchers in the last half century to have a 21 start stretch with an ERA below 2 are Skubal and Justin Verlander across 2011-2012. George Kirby, a 1.70 ERA over his last 6 starts. He's the second Mariners pitcher ever to have a 6-start stretch with at least 39 strikeouts, 3 or fewer walks, and an ERA of 1.75 or lower, along with Cliff Lee's beautiful Mariners stretch back in 2010. And lastly, my actual final thought, James Wood is set to make his debut with the Nationals today. One of the very best prospects in baseball, and obviously maybe the most important part of the Juan Soto trade for the Nationals side. So big power hitting guy. Very excited to watch him play.
Yep. Coley draft pick. That was a Coley draft pick. Dallas, final thoughts?
Shout out to the Oakland Athletics and Zach Geloff. Zach Geloff hits
My guy.
a home run yesterday. And what does that do? That makes the Athletics, the Oakland Athletics, just the 6th team with 9,000 home runs since 1968. The A's joined the Yankees, the Orioles, the Tigers, the Rangers, and the Red Sox in that span.
Oh, the Red Sox already did it?
Whoa. Yeah, since 1960.
Wow. Congrats for getting on our level there, Dallas. Wow. About time.
Well, yeah, the team with less World Series championships. For sure. And then shout out to Wyatt Langford as well. 11th cycle in Rangers history. 4 RBI, 3 runs in that game. It's the first cycle since Carlos Gomez did it back in 2017 against the Angels. He's actually the 10th player to do it for the Rangers. Adrian Beltre did it twice, but he's the 8th player over the last 75 years to cycle in his first 60 games since the one player in the National League Central that you would build around if you had the opportunity to do so in Ellie De La Cruz, who did it last June, believe it or not. So, and he's also the first player in baseball history with a cycle, a grand slam, and an inside the park home run within his first 60 games.
Whoa. Damn. Well, speaking of the A's, we can touch in on my Mason Miller conspiracy theory. It seems like the A's have continued on that path, and if we look at the numbers here, 3 out of his 4 last appearances have not been save situations. They brought him in against the Angels, down 3 to face the bottom of the order, and 2 nights ago against the Arizona Diamondbacks, up 5 to face the bottom of the order. So just tip your cap to that front office in Oakland for just manipulating the stats, making Mason Miller face the bottom of the order to make his stats better so they can trade him.
Yep. Jake's birthday takes?
Just a lot of Red Sox slander from Dallas on my birthday, which is obviously bullshit.
Yeah.
But a little bit of breaking news here. Mo Vaughn on the pod on Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow. Okay. 1995 American League MVP Mo Vaughn on the pod on Wednesday.
Big Mo.
Yeah.
Ask him what it felt like to be in the Backyard Baseball franchise. That was awesome.
Yeah, we will ask him that question. Also,
Did
Jake,
I
don't know if
officially take his MVP away? Or
No.
was that
Shit.
just a okay? All right, because I didn't know if I had to prepare to answer for that
Yeah.
yet.
I don't think so. Jake, did you see this other breaking news?
I did not.
Wick Grossbeck preparing to sell the Celtics.
Hopefully he buys the Red Sox.
All right. We'll be back on Wednesday. Yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday. Is that the 4th of July? No. Thursday's the 4th of July?
Yeah.
When's the 4th of July? Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
All right. We'll be back on Wednesday. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We love you guys, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Wow.